Morning. Thank you, Great Lakes. Thank you, Aditya, AIWMI, for this opportunity. So we've had, I think by the time you get through these 2 days, you would have covered every nook and corner of family business. So I will cut to the chase, as it is. I speak to you not in my corporate hat, which I retired last year from the business holding board of GMR Group. I speak to you as the founder of a boutique or niche firm called Endeavour. We specialize in family businesses. That's all we do. Small businesses, large businesses, businesses South India, North India, wherever, Africa. Closer to me? Yeah, okay. So we partner family businesses. It's a long journey, and we have, I have associates and I have people who help me do this. May I request, some of them are here. Krishnan, he works very closely with many family businesses. Pankaj, he helps scale up businesses, family businesses. Nitin Rajendran, he handles education and training for us. And we have one more partner, Tariq. Where is Tariq? Tariq does estate planning and trusts and so on. We partner Amicorp in doing that. Okay, so let me, as I said, cut to the chase. A family constitution, this session I speak as in a narrow technical sense. I won't cover all aspects of family business. So what is a family company? A family company is controlled by a single family. There are many definitions. The definition I'm using for this presentation is that it is controlled by a single family. Two or more family members significantly influence the direction and policies of the business. That's very important. Through their management positions, ownership rights, or family role. They could have many of these, all of these, some of these, and part of the governance challenge in a family business is that family members wear multiple hats. So governance becomes a challenge when you take decisions. Are you taking that decision as a family, owner, promoter, operating leader, manager, or as a family member? So resolving this is very important, and the family constitution helps do that, besides many other things. So, as an overview, there are about 5 key elements that enable continuity in a family business. 1, a family governance process to strengthen the family business. We've heard that. It's easier said than done. It's a long process. It's an intricate process. It's a complex process. The larger the family, the more the complexity. Second element that reinforces continuity is family values. All families have values. Family businesses need to articulate this, discover this, and own this up and pass this on. Third element, professionalize the business. Now, professionalize the business does not, in our way of looking at it, mean hire professionals. No. Professionalize the business means systems can be professional, family members can think professionally. There are many ways in which you professionalize the family business. There are many small businesses who cannot afford high-paying CEOs or experts or family or non-family experts. So they sort of move back and say, how do I professionalize my business? It's not a 0-1 game. There are many ways in which you could run the business in a professional manner. The fourth, and perhaps the most important, is one voice in ownership. The principle of one voice is, if I may use a Christian metaphor, it's a holy grail. And getting that one voice with varying attitudes, multiple generations, points of view about strategy, points of view about family, points of view about values, points of view about almost everything. And the more talented the family, more difficult to get one voice. And the last and perhaps very, very important, is build an independent board to strengthen the business. Extremely important. Family members, owners also suffer from hubris. The more they succeed, the more arrogant they get. The more arrogant they get, the decisions get worse. So you need an expert advice, you need a third-party advice, you need a warm advice. Many family businesses take a shortcut. What they do is they nominate friends or people who are warm to them on the board. It's better than nothing, but I would recommend that family businesses select independent directors rather than nominate independent directors, and that will be a great shift in terms of governance and independence. So these are the 5 key elements. Now let me talk of family agreements. Family constitution is only one element, one comprehensive element for family agreement. That's the most commonly used term today. We want a family constitution, it's very fashionable, you know. We want a 3-piece suit. Why? Because that guy's got it. But I'm suggesting that we need to think fit for purpose. So family agreements, what kind of family agreements? And what do they do? What do they achieve? They keep the family united. They forge a broad and strong ownership family commitment. 2, they give the family a strong foundation. They build the confidence of non-family members and business partners. So, as an example, we do a lot of constitutions. One constitution, there are several. One I remember, when we did the GMR family constitution, we decided that all the 200 plus professionals, presidents, vice presidents, would be present at the signing ceremony. And that made we had no clue that would create such a confidence in the non-family professionals about the continuity of the family, about the transparency of the family, and so on. It was a very profound impact. Actually, non-family members and business partners, even people who lend you money, people who invest in you, it's important for them to know that you have a family agreement. I have personally made presentations to many lenders, many investors, presenting what the family agreement looks like. There is a rumor that SEBI might insist on family constitutions in the future to shape next generation expectations of their roles in the business. It's very useful to keep the family together, prevent conflicts over unnecessary misunderstandings. So these are the 4 very quick purposes and advantages. So, family agreements come in various shapes, various forms. So, it can be a 1-page description of family values and mission. We'll stop there. You'll hear Mr. Valayan this afternoon. He will tell you about one kind of family constitution the Murugappa Group has. It could be a long 50-page, 150-page document with various. I request you not to take photographs, please. If you need any information, I'll be happy to provide it. Thank you. So it could be very detailed, 150-page document, clause, subclause, what if, and so on. Some families rely more on philosophy, principles, that's enough. Some document protocols, precise policies. So the family's orientation shapes the content of the agreement. For instance, if we are working with a family which has had conflicts earlier in past generations, they insist on more precise policies. We want it very well grounded. If there are families which have had no sense of conflict, they have experience of working together, have gone through difficulties together, the bonding is high, their trust is high, they say principles are enough, some fundamental principles that will govern us. what we encounter almost every time is for the family to decide whether they have a family first orientation or a business first orientation. Which leg do they lean on? Depending on which leg they lean on, the character of the agreement will be different. We will speak of that a little later. So what are the types of family agreements? I want to reiterate that family constitution is not the only family agreement. So you have an owner's contract or shareholder agreement. You have a family business charter. It focuses on the family end, family policies, how families would relate to business. You have a family charter, focused only on the family, not on the business. And finally, you have the family constitution. So which one you're looking for is very important. You don't have to have all the full 9 yards, as they say. As you do this work, it's important for family businesses, there are two overarching perspectives. One, some families believe, either because of their history, tradition, legacy, or just idiosyncrasy, or what they've heard in the marketplace, that the business is good for the family. Some believe that. Some believe that the business will risk the family's harmony. Depending on which one you believe, your agreement will be different. Some believe that the family is good for the business. Some believe that the family will harm the business's success. And these are very soft perspectives, beliefs. But it's important to get this out. A family constitution or a family agreement is not a cut-paste job. I've had many people say, give me best practice. So all the best practices are lined up. Let's pick vanilla ice cream with chocolate, with almond, put it together, and a constitution. Please don't do that. In the marketplace today, family business, when I started practicing family business, people didn't know what family business was all about. They didn't know what I was doing for a livelihood. Today, we have so many people here, and at ISB, and at so many conferences. The interest is picking up, and like when demand picks up, supply adjusts. And we have advisors saying, we'll give you a 6-month constitution, fat. You know, it's all a cut-paste job. Beware. So, key assumptions. If the family believes that the family is a threat to the business, family is a threat to the business. Conflicts, stalemates, can't agree on strategy, cannot agree whether to go to take debt, leverage or not leverage. If that's the situation, do a family charter. If the business is a threat to the family, business is taking away time from the family. I have not seen my father in 3 years. Home life or work-life balance, or the business is bringing page 3 media attention to my second brother, and I'm left, I don't have that media attention. We have some assets which are trophy assets, some assets which are emotional assets, some assets which are economic assets. So the 3 brothers, they want job rotation so that some of them or even their spouses can claim that their husbands or the brother is handling a trophy asset. Nobody wants the chemical company forgotten long ago, or the jute company which is struggling. Everybody wants the more high-profile business. We are working for a sugar company in UP, and there are no family business successor takers for that business. So the story is just unraveling. But the point is, business is a threat to family. Some believe that ownership is a threat to family and business. When we should be growing, we don't leverage. how much capital can we generate, this fight between liquidity and capital, needs, ownership not able to deal with it, the stalemate, business decisions at the ownership level, should they be taken based on shareholding? Should they be taken on the family units? Should each family unit have one vote? What should it be? So one unit has 6 children, the other unit has 3 children, and you distribute the stock accordingly. Who gets more voting rights? So ownership is a threat to family. So do an ownership charter, shareholder agreement. If the family business and ownership is an opportunity for the family business, remember this. There are some families who dearly believe that. Because we are family, it's great for the family business. Because we are this kind of family, it's great for the family business. So we are an asset to this family business. That's when the family charter, the business charter, and the ownership charter come together to give you a family constitution. This is the full regalia and takes longer. So what's the process? Very often, again, people talk of content, best practice. Our view, and this generally agreed progressive view, is that the process of signing a constitution is more important than the content of what the constitution has. The process does a lot of good things for the family. It answers questions: who, why, what. What will be defined as a family constitution? The fundamental belief is that the process of a family agreement is as important than the content of the agreement itself. It's very important to understand this. So how does it help? The process of developing the family agreement builds family decision-making and problem-solving skills. I have personally known of family members, and I don't do this, but I always wish I had done it. Symbolically take a photograph of the family before they start the process and take a photograph of them after they complete the process. And it speaks million words. The sense of security, the sense, okay, things are settled now. I know where we're heading. I don't have any insecurities now. I know what the succession will be. If you know the end result, put a policy in place. If the end result is open, put a process in place. Succession is often seen as selecting a person. We don't believe that. We believe succession is selecting a process that will throw up a person. Very important piece. So similarly, there could be, you don't know how things will pan out, so you have a process for portfolio stress analysis rather than stress analysis itself. You have a process for scanning the market rather than scan the market yourself, etc. B, it educates family members about their own histories and their businesses, etc. So when we do values work with them, they go back into history, they go back into what they did well, they create albums, they create legacies, they look at the past, contend with the present and plan for the future. It motivates family members to consider the collective good and an overarching sense of purpose for family business, ownership, etc. One very important thing and what breaks family businesses time and time again, I've seen a lot of them over the last 20, 25 years, is self-interest. And getting the family, even spirituality helps. Getting the family to move into higher consciousness levels is very important. Considering the collective good, they say psychological maturity has different stages. The lowest stage is me, I, myself. Second is when you become aware that there's I and you. The third level of maturity is when you start to realize there's I, you, and us. The next level of psychological maturity is when you realize it's I, there's you, there's us, and there's all of us. So the mental preparation for the collective good arises through the process of talking about the Constitution. Next, it strengthens trust and unity in the family. Doubts are dispelled. It's not ideal conditions. Not all doubts are dispelled. But families agree to give the benefit of doubt. This is a big thing. So you don't shoot first. You consider the benefit of doubt and they decide whom they will give benefit of doubt to. What will be the conditions under which they will give benefit of doubt? So benefit of doubt is an important chapter in family business, in dealing with family differences. It fosters family commitment to personal and collective growth. I've said this before. A successful family agreement is much more than a piece of paper. It is instead paper in action. Remember, any of you even contemplating writing a family constitution? You have to deal with emotions, you have to deal with history, you have to deal with pain, you have to deal with hard conversations. Founder can be a pipeline, family lifeline, or a bottleneck, depending where the founder is coming from. It's a long process. The family has to find time. So we say, you need 2 days a month. Are you willing to give it? Let's calendarize the year. Because family ceremonies come in, weddings, childbirth, school vacations, all these have to be planned for. And once you start it, you need to retain the momentum. Otherwise, you land yourself in worse credibility than not having started at all. So, this is the general view even as we get in. What do you need? Do you need a family? What cut do you need? What is your worldview? So all of this software, as I call it, the operating software of a family needs to be codified, needs to have a framework within which you build the family constitution. The great family constitution of Dabar or Murugappa or GMR or Godrej will not fit all, and I think that was mentioned. It's not a one-size-fits-all. So why a constitution? Chances of survival depends on articulating an appropriate governance mechanism well ahead of eventualities. The crux in a family constitution, the entire process is anticipation, anticipation, anticipation. The elephant in the room is anticipation. The founder has to ask, what happens if I come under a bus tomorrow? And we don't discuss these things in family. Avashaguna. We don't, Avashaguna. Shagun is not good. You don't discuss death. You don't discuss incapacitation. You don't discuss divorce. You don't discuss difficult family circumstances. Hush hush. And the more hush hush, the more shock. Our research has shown that most family conflict differences occur because they are unprepared. And somebody takes the leadership, manages the conflict best he or she can, and gets the bad name for it. So, and family injuries happen, hurts happen, when unplanned time bombs go push. So anticipation. It's a proactive mechanism. Put in place, put policies in place before the problems arise. Structured opportunity. It's not an ad hoc opportunity. Hey, let's come on. Let's sit down this weekend and get a policy for capital formation. Let's get a policy for marriages in this family. It doesn't happen like that. There's a structured process. We have with us, through years of experience, a certain set of stuff that you can look at and decide priorities. So finally, Constitution is the vehicle of family governance. What shapes the family constitution? Unique, no size fits all. It reflects the distinct culture. Culture precedes content. I think somebody mentioned it now, you mentioned it this morning. Culture precedes content. The nature of its business. What are the applicable laws in that country or the state? Industry differences influence the family agreement. Very often. Logistics industry, family agreement will be different. Entertainment industry, family agreements may be different. Steel industry may be different because of the nature of capitalization, the nature of risk, the number of family members, the industry volatility. For instance, we work with a very well-known legal firm to do their constitution. Now, there, the constitution is very different because many of the professionals, non-family professionals, become like family. They get equity, stock options. They're likely to be offered ownership. It looks very different. A diversified business, very different. So I won't get onto it. Many of these things I've covered. So primary vehicle articulates vision, values, culture, provides agreed structure, codified agrees ways of decision. This is very important. While ego is a big enemy of family business, our inability to manage ego is the biggest enemy of family business. The second risk in family business is decision making. Consensus, majority, how do decisions get made? Sometimes you sit in on family meetings where the founder is saying, I'm very participative, extremely participative, I'm a very open person, I'm a self-made person. I've listened only to myself till now. But now because you are sitting here, I will listen to everybody. I'm never impulsive. I never stand up and shout. This decision was taken common, everybody was there. But did everybody participate? Was there a devil's advocate? What did you do with stalemates? So what appears to, because somebody is present doesn't mean they are professionally or psychologically present. And that's our job. We do that and become unpopular and tell the family founder, and that's one thing. We do not take assignments where we are service providers. We do not solicit for any business anytime. You call us, we'll come. We will not take presentations to you. Sorry. We either have the same vote as the founder or we don't have a vote at all. We work for the family. We are not clients to any one member of the family. Because families are suspicious. Who brought this guy here? Huh? This must be father's way of manipulating us. The second brother, he has brought this chap. He met him at some conference, he brought him here. This must be his way of getting importance in the family. So watch out for this fellow. So what we do, we have a particular process, but one very interesting thing, after we make our presentations or whatever we have to do, whether it's Krishnan and me or whoever working, we walk out and say, we are going to leave this room. If you can give us some tea, coffee, that'll be nice. We'll have some tea, coffee, but wait outside. We will decide whether we want to work with you, and you will decide whether you want to work with us. Because we may be John Watt himself, but unless chemistry is matched, what use are we to you? And what use are you to us? Okay? This is important. So decision making is crucial. Most growth in family businesses are affected by stalemate in decision making. So, entry of family members, relationship structures, succession, asset transfer, trusteeship, process for managing differences. Now I'm actually changing that word to dealing with differences. You have to catch differences very quickly. A small argument, unattended, becomes a difference. A difference ignored becomes a conflict. A conflict unaddressed, pushed under the carpet, becomes a incompatibility over a period of time. An incompatibility not addressed, don't bite the bullet, leads to separation. So before separation, many things have happened, including a small argument lost, face lost, father shouting at a son in front of the PE investors. How can you do that to me? You delegated, whatever it is. Father intending to give up, but has to keep his nose, fingers, everything in the business. So son says, you delegated to me, I am in charge of this profit center. Why do you call the professionals and talk to them directly? Why do you give them directions in front of me? How would I act, etc. So differences can come from many places. One thing we have disabused ourselves of is that personality differences are the only cause of differences. We have disabused ourselves of that. Perspectives, different perspectives are the cause of difference as much as personalities effect. Many families are conflict avoidance. Why take it up? Why create bad blood? Avoid today, pay tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll see. So getting the families to get a trust climate where they can talk and is very difficult. Very difficult. Let me trust you. One more difficult thing on governance. I think you mentioned how you called your father. I think it's an extremely important thing. In most family businesses, they have to be taught or be aware who is talking to whom. They're all working in the family business. Is the daughter talking to the father or the managing director talking to the chairman? How they address each other in business. Is the brother, executive director finance or whatever it is, director finance talking to the director marketing, brother, or elder brother talking to the younger brother? When a decision is not taken, does the younger brother take the decision to the family dining table and influence the mother to influence the elder brother? Blackmailing. In Tamil, சொன்னா கேட்க மாட்டேங்கிறாமா, கொஞ்சம் ஏதாவது சொல்லி பாரு, etc. सुनता नहीं है, मामा जी जरा संभालो अपने बड़े भैया को, वो बहुत रुबाब कर रहा है, बिजनेस में बहुत रुबाब कर रहा है, बड़े हो गया तो क्या हो गया? Differences. So, family job, what are the major family position policies? Family job, lifestyle, car, borrowings, personal drawings, compensation, dividends, managing differences, media policy, very important. Media can be very intrusive and destroy family businesses. Stay away, stay under. Code of conduct, the family. Political interests. Can I be in the family business and president of the local political party? Family fund, because we carry the name of the family, shouldn't certain expenses like wow marriages and destination marriages and so on be taken care of the family. Or we are working for a family in deep south, every penny they pay for. If the family car doesn't come, they take a Uber. Chairman. Capitalization some 7,000 crores. They buy chicken, voucher. Super family, what a pleasure to work with them. And there are others who treat the family as their proprietary. They are lords of the survey. They have 3 people helping them to plug a computer in the boardroom. One fellow will come first to announce the chap, who is already late. Then that man walks in, Prince Charming walks in, 35 minutes late. And just before him comes the plug adapter fellow. He will come, place the computer, place this thing. And last of all will come his executive secretary. Then he comes and the meeting starts. 18 professionals waiting for 2.5 hours, average salary, what? 80 lakhs per month, per year. So we can be very sharp with family businesses. The first family business, one of the families I think it was in Hotel Leela in Bangalore. I was told the meeting is at 10:30. I went there, a blue-blooded professional who was changed with time. Went there and sat down at 10:30. No family showed up. 11:30, 12:30. Time was up to 10:30 to 12. They showed up at 11:45. So I said hello, everything. When it was 12 o'clock, I got up. I said, thank you very much. I have to leave now. What? How can you leave now? You have just come. You said 10:30. It's now 11:45. That assignment would have broken there except for the founder. He said, Chief Minister बुलाएगा तो हम पहले जाएंगे ना. Secretary Defense बुलाएगा तो हम पहले जाएंगे ना. तो यहाँ क्यों नहीं आएंगे? Sorry sir, I on behalf of the family apologize to you. This shall never happen again. That's how a beautiful journey started for us. But that's another matter. So what are the process? First, emphasize family values and traditions. Stay there as long as you can. That is your software. Second, build interpersonal relationships. There are 2 kinds of advisory approaches. One are strategy approaches, structural approaches. They won't agree with this. They'll say, work on strategy, work on structure, work on governance, work on hardware, work on policies. Relationships will take care. There's another one called cultural interventionist, family cultural interventionist. They do culture, then they do systems. So, this is from a cultural interventionist perspective, not the only way. Emphasize family values, build interpersonal relationships, figure out who's talking to whom. Figure out how a father can talk to his son, father can talk to his son as an equal in business. Figure out how a brother and brother can shed history. Embed a participative culture in the family. I told you about this great founder who said he's a very participative person, etc. Answer difficult questions. Bring what-if questions. Death, incapacitation, divorce, no children, adoption. Start formulating policies and processes. There's a way to do that. Create a distinctive governance mechanism. Think of your family business as 4 rooms. One is the family room, one is the board room, one is the owner's room, and one is the business forum. There are 4 different rooms. Because when you go into that board room, you wear the board hat. When you go into the family room, you wear the family hat, etc. So families need to learn how to separate their hat, how quickly they can shift hats based on the issue at hand. And finally, crystallize the family constitution. Takes long, hard work. So, how do you, what can go wrong? Too fragile a family that has had many conflicts. The straw is too dry. Dear Liza, the straw is too dry. A small flick of an ember, it'll burn. So we figure out how resilient the family is. Have they had so many conflicts and grievous conflicts? I met one family, they've gone to courts, brother and brothers fighting. There's some accusations. And they called me and said, can you put us together? I said, Humpty Dumpty cannot be put together anymore. I'm sorry. Too fragile. Unaligned hidden motivations. You can sense it. Poor process. They don't believe in process. Put a process in place, it doesn't be broken tomorrow. Why? Because they are entrepreneurs. Family agreements are not recommended to replace family therapy, counseling, or legal arbitration. We counsel, but we are not counselors. Where there is no amendment or renewal process. Amendments can come with marriage in the family, when next generation changes, death, new circumstances, portfolio of business is changing. Some mistakes. Sometimes constitutions are too business driven. They don't take into account family so much. There's a lack of reflection. Just do it quickly, finish. Wait for thought. We don't have time. Deal with it like another initiative in business, TQM or something like that. Too much elapsed time. When did we meet last 6 months ago? Why? No, this happened, that happened, marriage. We could not meet. Weak support for family or family business leader. You think founders are very powerful people? No way. They're very soft people. They don't know how to differentiate between their children. You ask a founder, he might have built a great business, to have a hard conversation between his daughter and son. Kumar sir, just sit with me, just give me moral courage. I want to talk to these two people. I've had enough. So they are not demigods. They have clay feet. Abdicated leadership. Acha, what do these people say? Whatever they say, I agree. But you hold the money. You are the family founder. They look up to you. It's all right. Let them decide. They abdicate. I found one fellow, we had a lot of discussions, then he called me aside after the discussion. He said they are accusing the founder of not supporting growth. The business is stagnating. He's not doing anything. He plays very good tennis. He goes to the club. He's a Rotary of the president of Rotary. He calls me aside. He said, see, I am now 66. I don't want to take on any more energy-sapping initiatives. I don't have the energy for business. I'm tired of money. I'm tired of business. My son-in-law, daughter, and wife are pushing me to build the business. I cannot do it. Now, what do you do? The daughter was in London, she called me. I said, your father doesn't want to invest his energy, forget his capital. So either he creates a succession and passes to you or your son-in-law or both of you, and then we can grow. They didn't come back. Very authoritative, directive, top-down process. I've discussed that. Poor participation, I've discussed. Advisors. There are different kinds of advisors. There are existing advisors. Some existing advisors outlive themselves. You need new advisors. Single person, team. Outside directors. Other business family members. Informal. There are many other business family members who have resolved, let's say, the Ambani conflict or some other conflict. They're friends. Role of advisors, they can be detached, objective, perspective. They can be process facilitators, as I said, express, listen, dialogue, create a climate, culture, say what the others won't say. Either you be Shaguni or you be Krishna. One of the two is useful. Mediators, they can be mediators, they can be experts, they can be agreement writers. So family decides, they sit and write, like a company secretary. They can be co-authors, with the family being active. They can be authors, with family being passive. They can be educators. They can also be holding hands and letting go. It's an important value for advisors. So amendment process every 3 years or so, entry of new family members into business, increase the number of shareholders, generations, branches, entry of spouses, new generation, growth diversification from one company to a group of companies, etc. All this trigger amendment. Measuring success, completion. First of all, complete what you started. Simple. Second, quality of content. Is it internally consistent? Is it best practice based? What is the impact on behavior as catalyst for change? And it's important to review. We get the family around us, 3 or 2 of us sit down there, and they give us feedback. This didn't go well. This went well. Let's start all over again. Every 3-4 months, we get feedback, review, face to face, no written, anonymous stuff. We get it straight. So I'll stop here and thank you for the opportunity.